Hey, I'm on the balcony now. I'm messaging from my dad's PDA.
The one you threw into the yard?
No, I'm telling you, it jumped out of my Siladex like a frightened weasel.
What were you doing with it in the first place? I am not sensing a lot of regard for the personal property of others. Is this how your pent-up frustration with your father manifests itself?
What? No! Those were all accidents. Please take your psycho-babblery elsewhere, miss.
Your bathroom is a mess. Did you do that too?
Oh man, see, this isn't cool. All this snooping nonsense.
There's a cake in the toilet.
Yes, there is.
I'm tempted to clean it up for you.
Okay, if that'll satisfy your weird OCD complex, go ahead.
My obsessive-compulsive disorder complex? Can a disorder also be a complex?
In your case, probably.
Sounds complicated.
Anyway, I'm going to have a look at this enormous platformy thing you put on the balcony.
John, examine Alchemeter in a cautious manner. You have no idea what to do with this thing. You can't find any controls for it. Having exhausted all other possibilities, you just decide to stand on it. This isn't very cautious of you, actually. John, look through telescope. It is a clear, sunny day. Nothing out of the ordinary to report, at least not beyond the walls of your own home. TT, grab the soiled toilet.
Oops.
Whoops. What? What was that noise? Is this something I should go investigate?
No, I have it under control. You can keep playing with your telescope.
John, investigate.
Ah!
I think I can patch it up. Just give me a little space. Why don't you go have a look at the Cruxtruder?
The what?
The thing I put in your living room.
John, hop down the hole. You jump down to the utility room. You take the sledgehammer and the capture log card, combine the two, and quickly apply it to your stripe specibus. You think it's cool that things don't always have to be a federal fucking issue. It looks like another one of your chums is pestering you on your PDA.
GardenGnostic, GG, began pestering ectobiologist EB at 1725.
John, did you get my package?
Oh, hey! No, not yet.
Darn. Are you sure? It was in a green box.
Oh, yes, but it's in my dad's car and he's still out at the store. He should be back soon.
Great. So what are you up to today?
I'm up to my neck in the Sburb stuff. TT is making a royal mess of my house.
What's Sburb?
Oh, it is this game. It's okay, I guess, and still figuring it out.
Whoa, what was that?
What was what?
There was a loud noise outside my house. It sounded like an explosion.
Wow, really?
I will go outside and look.
Oh man, alright, but be careful, okay?
I will.
GardenGnostic, GG, ceased pestering ectobiologist EB at 1728.
John, might as well check out the Cruxtruder.
Oh, hell no. You just put this thing in front of the door?
There's a door there?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I just thought it fit nicely into that groove.
You mean you thought it was elegant? Okay, what do I do with this thing? Hello? What are you doing up there now?
Oh, fuck.
John, examine wheel on the Cruxtruder. When you turn the wheel, something seems to be pushing up from underneath the lid, but you weren't strong enough to make the lid come off. TT, put bathtub in driveway. On the bathtub's journey to the driveway, the connection is interrupted. John, scold TT.
You can see me, right? Tell me, what is wrong with this picture?
Sorry, I keep losing the wireless signal. Must be the weather. I would look for a stronger signal in another part of the house, but I'd rather not risk an encounter with my mother. I battled through her cloud of gin and derision once already this evening.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes, cake, jesters, unfaltering love and support. Quite a road to hoe there. Though I suppose I'm complicit for not informing social services about your situation.
I know. What about going outside? Maybe you could catch a neighbor's signal.
That presents the same problem. Also, it's raining, remember? And dark.
It's dark already?
Yes, the sun has already had its way with us here on the East Coast. Its lurid glare has moved on to younger time zones.
Okay.
John, hit Cruxtruder with sledgehammer.
Come on! Jesus!
Need some help?
What is this thing? And what is the clock counting down to?
I've been looking at the GameFAQ walkthroughs to figure some of this stuff out. Hold on while I read further.
Okay.
Huh. All of these walkthroughs are extremely short. None progress much further than this point.
Weird. Well, I mean, it is a new game.
True. Now that the lid is off, you will need to extrude some cruxite.
John, turn wheel again. You extrude 1 cruxite dowel.
I feel like we should be hurrying. That countdown is making me nervous. John? Ugh. Your PDA is trapped under the cruxite now, isn't it? Anyway, it looks like you are going to need this card, too.
TT, deploy pre-punched card. John, get card. A shard of glass is expelled from the deck and maims the Harlequin doll. You take 2 fanciful Harlequins. The additional useless freight pushes your PDA to the last card. You then switch to the cube modus so you can access the PDA. More glass shrapnel flies from the deck.
This thing keeps following me around. I think it's trying to talk to me or something.
That is probably the kernel sprite. It apparently needs to be prototyped. Twice, actually. Whatever the hell that means. Ugh, these walkthroughs are horrendously written.
Okay, well, you were the one with the cursor, so just do whatever you think is the right thing to do. Also, fix my bathroom!
TT, drop maimed Harlequin into kernel sprite.
I still can't understand this thing's gobbledygook.
That was only Tier 1 prototyping. There is still another tier to the prototyping process, which, for all we know, merely advances this entity through increasingly esoteric states of linguistics.
The clock is ticking. We don't have time for this asinine tomfoolery.
This unmitigated poppycock?
Extravagant hogwash. Okay, stop. Stop typing whatever silly things you're typing. I'm going upstairs to the big platform thingy.
The alchemitor?
Huh?
Try to learn the lingo.
John, use pre-punched card with the alchemitor. There is no slot for a card anywhere to be found on the alchemitor. The kernel sprite followed you upstairs. Acquiring a cruxite dowel seems to have populated the Athenium with one item, a perfectly generic object. You snatch the telescope from its tripod. Who knows, it might be useful. But more importantly, it pushes the cruxite to the last card, making it available for tinkering. The PDA is predictably jettisoned into the yard, over the neighbor's fence. You place the cruxite dowel on the alchemitor's small pedestal. Something is happening. You set the alchemitor to cast 3 perfectly generic objects for some reason, expending a total of 6 units of build grist. These things look completely useless. What a waste. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice there's something in the sky. You switch back to the stack modus and get a closer look with your telescope. Whatever it is, the kernel sprite seems particularly agitated about it. You're no astronomer, but its trajectory looks suspiciously head-on with your current perspective. This is a troubling development. John, high five kernel sprite. You figure you've left him hanging long enough. John, attempt to ingest a unit of build grist. It is tempting because they strongly resemble rock and blue raspberry gushers. However, units of build grist are a gaming abstraction and do not seem to exist on the physical plane. There is apparently no crisis so imminent that will deter you from contemplating idiotic and frivolous actions.
Your dad is getting home. John. What did you do with your PDA this time? I'm working on the bathroom, but we are running low on build grist.
TT, revise bathroom. John, Run to your room and contact TT through Pesterchum. 2 chums have been trying to message you. John, answer chums.
I'm working on the bathroom, but we are running low on build grist.
Oh man, who cares about the bathroom? Now there's a meteor heading for my house!
I see. Do you suppose it has anything to do with the game?
I don't know, maybe? What do I do?
I think it's very likely. The walkthroughs vaguely suggest an impending threat before they end. The already poorly constructed sentences become even more curt and ambiguous, as if written hastily and with a sense of alarm. Actually, their dedication to updating the walkthrough under such circumstances is admirable.
Wow, fascinating!
Ugh. If the meteor is a game construct, I think the only thing to do is to proceed and try to solve the dilemma on the game's terms. Try using the lathe. It says you can use the card on it, but isn't more specific than that.
Okay, I'll do that.
Really, it is a labor to read this drivel. If I read any more, my brain will need to be spoon-fed from a jar while it blows spit bubbles in a high chair. I think I will write my own walkthrough. That is, after we make sure you don't die.
TurnTechGodhead, TG, began pestering ectobiologist EB at 1734.
I heard you got the box. I hope you appreciate my heroic fatherly perseverance in getting it to you. In my rough and tumble, dirty, wife-beaterly sort of way. Also, I hope you appreciate how many no-talent douches had their mitts on that bunny before you. It's like a grubby baton in some huge douchebag marathon. Hey, where are you?
Oh man, the bunny is awesome, but I don't have time to talk. I'm playing Sburb, and it's kind of a nightmare. TT is breaking everything in my house.
Dude, I told you to steer clear of that game. And for that matter, you should probably wash your hands of flighty broads and their snarky horseshit altogether.
And now there's a meteor coming. I'm not even joking about that. It's like a big asteroid or comet or something in the sky heading right for my house.
Oh man, how big is it?
I don't know. Big, I guess. I gotta go. We'll talk later if I'm still alive and the Earth isn't blown up.
Like the size of Texas or just Rhode Island? They're always throwing around these geographical comparisons to give us a sense of scale, like it really means anything to us. But it's like it doesn't even matter. It's always just like, wow, that's pretty fucking big. Like,
Mr. President, there's a meteor coming, sir.
oh yeah, how big is it?
It's the size of Texas, sir.
Oh shit.
John, use pre-punched card on totem lathe.
Or, how big is it?
It's the size of New York City, sir.
Oh shit.
You slip the pre-punched card into a slot on the totem lathe.
Sir, I'm afraid the comet is the size of your mom's dick.
Oh snap.
Above, the tool arm deploys a configuration of chisels.
Sir, are you familiar with Jupiter?
You mean like the planet? Yeah.
Well, it's that big, sir.
That sounds pretty big.
Now you just need something to lathe.
I have a question. Is it Jupiter?
Yes, sir. Earth is literally under siege by planet fucking Jupiter.
Oh shit. Anyway, later.
Cursing your lack of foresight, you return to the balcony for the Cruxite doll you left on the pedestal. You navigate the hallway leery of your dad, who is presently puzzling over the new fixture in his hallway. The perfect crime. You retrieve the Cruxite dowel. Dad just shrugs and heads back downstairs, presumably to do some more baking. If only he knew you were hard at work saving his ass. You clamp the Cruxite in the lathe. John, activate lathe. The lathe carves one totem. You take the totem.
Alright, I used the lathe to make this blue shapy thing. Now I guess I take it back to the chemicizer again? Hello?
Tentacle therapist TT is no longer connected.
A young lady stands in her bedroom. Due to a violent storm, her house has just lost power, along with her wireless internet connection. This has severed her link to a popular video game she was playing with a young man at a critical moment. That young man is relying on this young lady to reestablish a connection somehow. This young lady named... It's on the tip of your tongue. What was the name of this young lady again? No, that wasn't it. One more time. Examine room. Your name is Rose. As was previously mentioned, you are without electricity, although your laptop computer still functions on battery power. You have a variety of interests. You have a passion for rather obscure literature. You enjoy creative writing and are somewhat secretive about it. You have a fondness for the bestially strange and fictitious, and sometimes dabble in psychoanalysis. You also like to knit, and your room is a bit of a mess. And on occasion, if just the right one strikes your fancy, you like to play video games with your friends. What will you do? Rose, retrieve arms from the purple box. The purple package's contents are private. No one is allowed to look inside. Rose, writhe like a flagellum and puke on your bed. What a terrible idea. The thought alone makes you sick to your stomach. Rose, stroke writing journal and mutter, "My precious." You would only resort to such an embarrassing activity while no one was watching. These journals are for your eyes only. Rose, get violin. You capture-log the violin, storing it the root card of your Sylladex. Rose, play a haunting refrain on the violin. You waste approximately 40 seconds playing the violin while your friend is in peril. Nice time management skills there, sweetheart. John, tell Liv Tyler you love her before impact. Since your good-for-nothing friend is obviously not going to bail you out in time, you issue words of parting fondness to dear, sweet Liv. Oh, if only Affleck could have been the one to make the final sacrifice instead of her stubborn, blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth father. Then she would fall into your arms for consolation, and you would be the one to make deceased Bruce Willis proud. Rose, capture log knitting supply bag. You get the knitting bag. It occupies the left leaf card under the violin, per the Tremotus's alphabetical sorting method. Rose, look out window. Your panoramic window offers a view of your yard below and the mausoleum housing your dead cat Jaspers, who died when you were young. Your mom had the structure erected with a spirit of scornful irony in response to your youthfully innocent request to hold a funeral for the animal. At least, that is how you have come to interpret the gesture in retrospect. You can also make out a silhouette of the laboratory next door, a facility which likely broadcasts a strong wireless internet signal. You may be able to connect to the signal from a different part of the house. Perhaps if you seek higher ground? You take your laptop and prepare to make the journey through the house. This causes the tree to be unbalanced, so your Sylladex auto-balances itself. Now, the laptop occupies the root card, while the other two items comprise the leaves. Rose, examine book on desk. This book is absolutely indispensable for enthusiasts of your ilk, of which there are very few. You take the grimoire. Rose, go explore the house. You leave your bedroom. Hanging just next to your door in the hallway is a painting of an exquisite wizard. Your mother collects these awful things ironically. She must know how much you detest them, and there's no doubt in your mind she stores these dreadful things in the house to bother you. Down the hall to the right is the way to the observatory. Perhaps you will be able to connect from up there. Your mother's room is also in that direction. You will have to watch your step. Rose, tiptoe to observatory. You approach a juncture in the hallway. Beyond the juncture is the observatory. This door leads up to the observatory. You haven't ventured up there in quite some time. The door opens to an exterior walkway leading to the observatory entrance. You've seen less inclement weather before. Oh, the things you'll do to help out a friend. Rose, try to connect. You first put your laptop down on the floor to get it situated, but removing it from the root card causes all the branches and leaves to be severed. Your items are dumped unceremoniously on the floor. Rose, see what you can observe. You're in a hurry, sure, but that doesn't mean you can't take a moment to peek through the huge telescope. You find a gap in the clouds. It seems a slurry of smaller meteoroids is streaking steadily overhead. You're not sure what this means, but it is somewhat disconcerting. Rose, stack laptop and grimoire to maximize elevation. You'll need every advantage you can get. Rose, access laboratory Wi-Fi network. There are several signals being broadcasted from the laboratory, each of relatively decent strength. One of them is mysteriously and quite conveniently unsecured, requiring no password. You select the signal and reconnect to the game with John.
I'm back.
Hurry up and open my door. Nothing even matters. I think I'm probably dead no matter what.
Patience. You still haven't used the new totem.
Huh?
I believe it will create the item on the punch card.
So what is it? Like an apple or something? What good will that even do?
We'll see. I've found no evidence that anyone has successfully created the item, and the content of the card appears to be variable from session to session. In one instance, it was described as an eggy lockin' thiggin.
Do we have enough of those building jewels to make it?
According to the Athenium, it is a free item. This speaks to its importance, in my view. Now, off you go.
Rose, remove door from hinges. There goes the rest of your build grist. Rose, put bathtub back. Probably should have just done this in the first place. John, take totem to Alchemeter. Gotta get those stupid blocks out of the way first. The Colonel Sprite is getting awfully worked up about all this. Rose, remove blocks. You store the perfectly generic objects in your Fernalia registry, potentially to be deployed at a later time. John, take bite of apple.
Hello, I am Rose Lalonde, and I have been handed a script meant to inform you about the content of the next episode. Whether any of this will actually take place in the next installment of Project Homebound is less than promising, but let's grin, have a little faith, and read along anyway. Next time on Project Homebound, John is transported to an unfamiliar world and must fight his way past enemies and blunder his way into friendships. I play a game of psychological cat and mouse with my mother, and yet another player is introduced, one whose grip on the sick beats can't compete with your attempts to complete the irons in the fire. More like irony inspires me to... Oh, Strider, you clever little menace. I will never hear the end of this, will I?